to.
The
I
only
just popped it up. I didn't mean it.
did you X out of the tab?
I accidentally X'd out of the tab when I was closing a bunch of bullshit tabs.
You know, I
What
think
happened?
I think the reason why your audio was turned off on the stream was because you left, and I didn't like. I like
Oh, you
I
didn't.
I approved you to go in, but I think I might have had your mic muted. That's what I think, but I didn't catch it. You
And
know.
maybe one of my settings may have got swapped because I know my settings switch every time I try to like
Yeah,
do these things. Like it goes to a different thing. Like it reads my camera settings more than what I actually have really set up. It's
that's
weird.
to be honest, that's probably why. I'm just gonna click on these links. One of these days, we're gonna do one of these right on time. We're gonna be so good.
Are we ever?
You
That's gonna
know,
ruin the formula of this show.
I know we've been
So,
going late every fucking day, every time. I mean,
oh jeez.
let me hide this.
I don't know what you're hiding. I didn't even see what you're hiding.
All right, good. I'll talk to you. I'll tell you later. It's not that incriminating, but I just don't want it on camera.
Okay. Whatever you say, man. Whatever you say.
All right, I'm just posting all these links on our social media accounts so people know that we're actually going live. All right, I can't watch me live while I'm doing this.
No, I don't like that one.
Beep, 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 beep.
This is how you start off every podcast.
Is it really?
No.
Well, okay, so no one's watching right now, but just in case if you are, I just want to do this. I take a picture and just make sure everyone knows that we're live before we actually start the show. So this is like our 10-minute session where we just fucking let everyone know that we're live. I mean, we have enough material to talk about. I just don't have any really bullshit to really pre-show stuff. I could probably talk about one thing.
What is the one thing I wonder?
I can't tell you until the show. It's really
show
not.
is happening now.
It's happening now.
The show is happening now. Is that we're not started yet?
I know it's happening now, but this is. It's all right. No one's watching.
No question. Is your air conditioner on?
No. Why is there a noise?
Yeah, I'm hearing some like little bit of feedback from you.
It's probably, you know what it is? It's probably my fish tank.
Freaking fish tank.
I could take you on a little tour. Maybe I'll do that during the BS fucking portion.
Okay.
My fucking room's a mess, but
Oh God, don't go on the tour then.
yeah, I just want to show my fish tank. Okay. Hold on. I gotta do this quick. Bet of the day. This happened once before when I came to your door, no reply. They said it wasn't you. You do. Okay, I'm good. You ready?
Hold on.
Yeah, I'm ready. I guess I'm ready. All right. 3, 2, 1. Wait, I'm not recording on my microphone. Are you
No,
recording?
I'm always recording.
Oh, fuck, Matt. That should be the last thing that happens. All right. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to BatYard's Finest, bringing you the finest of Batman and Superman pop culture. From BatYard Productions. Well, fuck. From Metropolis, I am Josh from BatYard Productions.
And I'm Superman's friend, Matt. How can I help you?
Hi, Matt. That's good to see you, man. You know, sorry for the late delay. I feel like every time we do a live show, it's most likely going to be 30 minutes after the fact. So just everyone be prepared for that. You know?
Actually, yeah, it's true. But it's fine. We're working on it, though.
Yeah, one of these days, I was just telling Matt, one of these days we're just going to do it right on time, and it's going to be spectacular. We're going to be right on the dot, right on the money. But that day isn't today. Anyway, so Matt, do you have any like BS or DC news, like any little tidbits you want to go into before we get to the main event?
Actually, it's just like I really don't have any news because like everything like we're discussing beforehand. Actually, before we started doing the live, that all the BS has been like put out earlier, and we kind of like touch upon all of it. So it's kind of like really like new but stagnant news that everyone knows already. It's kind of weird, but that's how I feel about it. But what do you got anything BS?
Yeah, I mean, with the news, yeah, like DC just had that fandom event where they kind of shot their whole load at once with news. So, like, I feel like if we go backwards and talk about anything else that we missed on the previous podcast, Swamp Thing with Connor, I think it's just going to be, kind of out of date. The only thing I want to say is, I have been reading the Superman like first comics ever, and it's all in chronological order. I've been reading this while I go camping. It's actually it's pretty fun. It's a fun time.
So
like this.
wait, so like which like how like where are you at now in it?
I'm on issue like 6 or something. Issue number 7. That's where I am. I just finished 6. So there's this one thing I wanted to show where it's like basically at every end issue, it just kind of like gives you like how to acquire super strength like Superman, and they're like, oh yeah, start lifting small objects, and then
What is that object right there? The green box.
I think it's just a box. I don't know what that is, but there was one. It's like, oh yeah, now you could achieve super strength just like Superman, if you do all these daily exercises, which I thought it was a nice like little tidbit for kids, like actually kind of, like Popeye with spinach. It's actually kind of motivating kids to stay healthy and stay fit. So I thought that was kind of nice, There's this one where it's like a diagram of your forearm, and they're like, all right, yeah, flex as hard as you possibly can, like clenching your fist with all your energy and all your might, and like do this, basically, like bring your fist forward and backward for like a forearm exercise. I can't find that right now.
But you just read it like
I mean, I just did a live demonstration, so But I just like those little tidbits that they have in it, and I think at one point we'll have to go through the first issue of Superman like ever. And I would like to do
Okay.
Batman as well. I think that would be
That means
cool.
I need to like obtain like these comics.
Well,
There's
you could
collections.
borrow this if you want.
You don't trust me with your damn books.
Well, this one I know. Ever since you throw them across the floor, yeah, I don't. I have a little trust issues
That was just
there.
for the scene.
Okay, okay. But this one's kind of been through hell. You know, this was
What have
like,
you done with that? Have you dropped it
yeah,
in a bathtub?
you know what it was? Last year, I went to Florida for Christmas, like Christmas time, and I had it as a travel item, like to read on the plane.
Okay.
You know, reading Superman on the plane, that's kind of cool. It's like as authentic as you possibly can get, right? So
Yeah.
I brought it on the beach and I had it in my backpack, and I had some liquids that were in my backpack. May or might not have been alcoholic beverages, and they leaked on my book. So that's why it has that kind of wavy texture on the bottom.
Okay.
But it's the paper's like brown, you know, so you can't even
So like
tell.
it's kind of like old fashioned style.
Yeah, it kind of
You're
gives it.
giving it more
It's a
like
little.
that quality, that taste of the old way.
Yeah, it gives it a
Like,
little
it's been
more.
around town a few times here and there.
Yeah.
Picked up what I've had to pick up.
But you know, I think next week or the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna do an episode of BatYard's Finest with JT for the first time. That'll be interesting. We're
What?
we're gonna be doing Smallville.
Oh,
The
have fun.
yeah, me too. Smallville. We're gonna start out with the
Oh,
pilot, but if for people who don't know, JT's my older brother, and he played Lex Luthor in our Batman versus Superman World's Finest fan film that is coming out. So uh, he plays Lex Luthor, I play Superman. So we're gonna kind of have that dynamic while we talk about Smallville. So it's gonna be kind of fun.
so we're getting Lawton squared going on here.
Yeah, I guess so. It's the first Lawton episode. I have other siblings, but I doubt they would want to come on this show. Maybe we'll see. But anyway, Matt. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I got to find the right thing to talk about. So Matt, do you have any other like little BS, like anything new that's going on in the world of Matthew that you know you want to share to the audience at home?
Just doing some here and there side projects with my own little channel that we're trying to get off the ground.
Mm.
We're doing this Greek mythology kind of video that we're doing. We're in the process of.
What is your channel called, Matt? What is it called?
It's
what
called
if you're gonna
Thieves
mention it?
Entertainment. I would, you know.
Wait, go ahead. What is it?
It's called Thieves Entertainment.
Thieves Entertainment. Is that like a Sly on Sly Cooper or something? Like kind of like
in a way, it kind of is kind of like influenced by it in a way.
Yeah. All
But
right.
like, I get them like, or like it's a it's just like a little thing. I don't know how to describe it. It's just like a channel that me and Dan thought of before, and we just set it up. But we were going to do this Greek mythology that Dan had planned, and he's busting his ass trying to figure out all the details. And we're supposed to shoot in like in a week or two.
Okay.
So that's what's happening, and I'm trying to figure out how to become a Viking because there's a part where we go well, not a Viking, or a Dane, because it's more pre-Viking.
Yeah, the timeline doesn't line up.
Yeah, it doesn't line up at all. But we're gonna cheat it.
Okay.
We're gonna cheat around with it because like everyone knows Vikings.
All right. Well,
everything else is gonna be Greek though.
For you guys at home, check out their channel, Thieves Entertainment. I'd be curious to see what goes on in the future.
We're gonna launch like sometime, hopefully, like real relaunch because we tried a soft launch before quarantine. Didn't really work out, but we're gonna try doing a launch hopefully around Halloween. So
yeah, well, we have a few things coming up in the BatYard realm.
That too, we do.
There is one trailer that we're coming out, like a spoof trailer that Connor and I did. I don't really want to give too much detail about it. It's just kind of like a parody. I'll give you. It's a parody of The Lighthouse. So that's
Okay.
all I'll reveal.
So it's gonna be a lot of crazy nonsense.
Yeah, it'll be. It's gonna be interesting.
Oh
It's
god.
and
Is there any mermaids?
no, there's not a mermaid, but
Merman?
we have a replacement of the mermaid. I don't want to give it away
Oh
because
god.
it's a joke. It's a parody, so I don't want to give away all the
I
jokes.
know.
So yeah, that'll be fun. That's gonna come out in the near future. I'm hoping by the end of September. And also this ghost feature that Matt and Dan and I have worked on. The next episodes are coming out. At least one in October. So look forward to those. That's definitely stuff that are coming here on the BatYard. And I know Matt and I are talking about filming some sketch. I don't really want to get too much into detail until we start filming it.
We still have to talk about a few more things, I believe, right? And then we're gonna try going off from there.
Yeah. So we just basically got to figure out a filming start date. That's where kind of I am on it. There's a few props that I'm in the midst of working on, like this mask. I got to finish this mask, obviously, before we film. I just did a quick paint job of its lips, and this nose is temporary. I wanted to get like an actual latex nose to kind of put on here, you know.
Okay. So you're trying to give it a snout.
Yeah, give it like kind of like a bat kind of inflection with its nose, you know, like a.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, that's what's going on here, you know. So I guess Matt, are you ready for the main event, or you have any other little tidbits you want to go into?
In the words of a friend Dennis, let's get to the meat of this podcast.
Okay, we're getting right into the meat. So we are reviewing Superman Man of Tomorrow, which is a 2020 American animated direct-to-video Superman film produced by Warner Brothers.
Yep.
And animated by DC Entertainment. It's the 39th film of the DC Universe animated original movies. It was released on August 23rd, 2020. And I guess it's on Blu-ray. It just came on Blu-ray September 8th. We're filming this, we're live, so we're filming this September 12th. So a few days after its Blu-ray release. The film shows chronicles of Clark Kent in his early career as Superman, with some aspects that are loosely based on the 2015 miniseries Superman American Alien by Max Landis, which I do own. American Alien. I actually have it right here. This is a really good book. This is one of my favorite Superman comic books. It's up there. This and All-Star Superman are probably up there with my favorites.
Did this movie at least stick true to that comic book series?
No, you know what? So it's like loosely based on it. So it doesn't like take direct like inspiration like Superman, like Superman Red Son. It's not the same exact story, but they kind of twist it. They just with this, they kind of took some elements that were, you know, kind of career starts with Clark Kent and stuff like that, and like the costume where he's wearing the goggles and the black kind of biker suit, basically. Those are the only kind of, you know, and like Lobo is a loose connection, but it's not like a direct adaptation of that comic series, because that comic book American Alien is it's like 4 different stories about like different time periods and aspects that are in Clark's life. So like the first one starts out, and it's like basically like a Pixar film. It's like Superman when he's like 8 or 9 years old, and it kind of like it's just like a little story about him in that time frame of his life. Then it's him when he's like a teenager, you know, a little overarching, a little storyline, and then
keeps on upgrading him a few years.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like if like say I think Max Landis said this, like say you're gonna meet Clark Kent in a bar, and like, you know, he was gonna tell you stories about him and being Superman. These are kind of like the little stories he would tell you. Yeah, exactly. These are his bar stories. So obviously, this is more of a linear storyline, which I do. I did like. I'm well. Before to get into what I had to say, what did Matt think of Superman, Man of Tomorrow?
Actually, like I was looking at, I was like, oh, okay, there's another Superman movie coming out. Okay, all right, it's gonna be. I wonder if it's gonna be good. Because like last one we watched was
Red Sun.
the Red
Yeah.
Sun, but before that, that was the Doomsday one when he
Oh,
fights Doomsday and he dies. It was
yeah. The
wasn't it
Death of
Death of
Superman,
Superman?
and then there was one after that, which was the Reign of Superman.
I don't
Uh,
remember that one, but I was just looking at him like, okay, hopefully it's not like, hopefully, like, is the animation gonna be like that style, or is the storytelling gonna be like those? Either like, too,
mhm.
how much like far fetched is it gonna be, or how straight to the point it's gonna be? Um, but like I looked at it, I was like, the colorization to it looked a little weird because it made like him look a little paler in the trailer I saw.
Yeah, yeah.
But it didn't look that horrible when I started watching it. It's just started like
Mhm.
it's like I'm like, all right, it works because everyone else's the tone of it was a little different of how
Right.
it went. And I was like I was kind of like including I didn't want another movie that he's overpowerful and I don't want
Yeah.
like I say this every time we talk about Superman.
Yeah.
He's just overly done and full of himself that I don't care.
There's a balance with
But
Superman that needs to be taken with his storylines. There's
yeah,
definitely a
but
balance that, and a lot
this
of writers don't know how to write Superman.
no. But
That's
this
what's
one I
interesting.
liked because this actually I'm gonna say this one I liked the most out of all of them because this
Wow.
when you see him as a kid, you
Yeah.
see him as a kid and you see this him watch. First of all, it starts off as like I said, he was a kid and he's watching a movie with a childhood friend, and it's about how people are like talking like saying bad things about aliens, saying like, "Oh, that's an alien. We don't like aliens." Blah blah blah. Meanwhile, he's an alien himself, and he actually has a breakdown about it. Then you jump into the future to he's like now he's in his early 20s
Mhm.
and he's coped with that issue, but he's hiding still his lifestyle. But then he's like working his way up to like being who he's supposed to become, and he has no idea anything about his power. So I liked how that was a thing, and he was discovering himself. It wasn't he
Yeah.
was already
Yeah.
established,
Mhm.
and like and I liked how like he was like trying to figure things out. He didn't have a costume already. All
Right.
those other things like end up coming to him later. It's not like it was just set up, ready to go, and that's Superman. We figured out everybody else. He had no connections to all of his people in the future, like at the Daily Planet. Really, he was a what was it? He was an intern or something like that,
Yeah,
right?
he's an intern coffee boy. Basically, he just
Yeah.
run
So
around,
like
give everyone coffee.
it was
What?
a different vibe that I enjoyed,
Yeah.
and yeah, including I liked how like the story went. You mentioned Lobo. Lobo was in the story, and I liked that he was like a key feature. It wasn't like an
Mhm.
like an incur like an occurrence that happens in like 2 seconds the fight's
And then it's
over. Like
over.
oh
Yeah.
my god, no!
Mhm.
Like Lobo causes shit to happen in the movie that actually goes on to the end. Like it go like including Lobo makes it to the end too in a way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
it's a
Minor
weird it's
spoiler. Yeah.
and yeah, it's just like sorry,
No,
but
no. I
like
mean,
it's
we're gonna get
just
into spoilers.
yeah, but like it's a different setup that I haven't seen in a while with Superman that I liked, including he figured out at one point he's vulnerable to something he has no idea of, and he
Mm.
got really scared, and he actually doubts himself as being Superman, even becoming being going further as Superman later in the movie too.
Yeah.
It's a weird story. It's a good, but it's a weird like little twist to storyline, but it ends up being a good outcome.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's that's how including they have Lex Luthor in it, but to me he became such a minor role at some point because he disappears until like later on into the last I think last like 30-40 minutes
Yeah.
is actually something
I
in the
kind of liked
movie.
how he's like not the main focus villain
Yeah,
in the
he
story. Like
comes
it kind of reveals how he's kind of what his malicious intentions are from the very
mhm.
beginning, and you see that towards the end, but he's not the main like
He
adversary that Clark Kent has to take down. He's just kind of like, he's like a part of it, but he's not fully attached in a way.
Yes.
And it does kind of set up future movies in a way. I think they're going to kind of go with, this becoming the new 52 like animated universe, and they're starting out with Superman. Yeah, it's well, the last, like the one you were mentioning, Superman Doomsday or Superman the Death of Superman, that was like the new 52 style, and I'm glad they branched off of that. Like I like some of those movies, but I was kind of getting sick of that animation. I didn't like
52 is just the big talk. Everyone loves 52 comics, like for some reason.
No, a lot of people hate New 52. A lot of people hate it. I enjoyed what I read, but like there's some stuff that I was hearing that New 52 was doing that was like off kilter and just weird and stupid.
It wasn't like what a character would do. What characters
like
would do
what they did with
like
for example, what they did with Lobo. He looked like an emo skater kid. He didn't look like that, like straight up rugged, badass fucking biker dude. He looked like a twink. He looked so lame. You have to look it up.
I'm doing it right now. I can't believe
he looked so bad. I haven't read with the New 52 stories I read. I read Justice League, Superman, and and Wonder Woman. I didn't really. I had some Batman. I read Quarter Hours. That was good. But with Superman and Justice League, I was actually interested in the storylines that they were going in, but I just kind of fell off, and now they're in.
This is Lobo
Rebirth. Yeah. Do you mind screen sharing? Because
yeah, give me a second.
It's really bad. It looks really awful. But
hold on. I'm gonna screenshot.
There's some other stuff that all right, it should be showing up.
Yeah, I'm doing it right now. This is it.
Yeah. Yeah, he looks awful. I could see him being that, like, before we meet Lobo, like, when he's killing off, like, every, I forget his species name, but when he's killing off all his, like, his race off on his planet, I could see him looking like this in his early years, but that's not the Lobo I really want to follow. I want to follow the fucking biker, heavy metalist. I don't want to follow this emo twink. I don't care about him.
That was one thing I actually did enjoy with Lobo coming in, and he just shows up out of nowhere and just like the way he just comes off like this full of himself and ready to do things, like beat the shit out of Superman.
That's neat. That's a neat idea.
On that. So like it just gives him more of like a reason to just wait and see, or maybe he just like found a thing about Superman and he just enjoys.
Yeah, they have an interesting relationship. I mean, at least I saw, what was it? The first time I've been introduced to Lobo was Superman the animated series. And he came down in that too, like to basically hunt down Superman. It was like the same, like he had a bounty on his head, and then they had to team up in that series as well. So, yeah, it's like kind of an interesting dynamic that they have. They're like against each other and their allies. They don't really like each other, but they have to team up at some point just because of circumstance.
Well, doesn't like Lobo get like his own comic series that makes him into like an anti-hero in a way?
Yeah, I think they do that.
It's just basically a travel of his bounties, but he's basically taking down the bad guys that nobody's dealing with or is on the real radar of like the Justice League.
I just unplugged my mic.
It's okay. I can still see you. But like, I didn't when I was listening to I really don't care about like sometimes with the voice actors because I'm like, okay, I just don't like sometimes pay attention. Right. I know how like a bunch of you do. I know Dan does. I know a couple other people do. I have friends with. But like, to me, I'm like, all right, this is probably somebody I really don't know. It's in this universe that I'm not familiar with 100%. But when I heard Lobo start talking, and I was like, wait, I know this fucking voice. I know it.
Yeah, was he?
End up being what's his name? Ryan
Is he
wow,
from
hers. Sons
Sons
of
of
Anarchy,
Anarchy?
Opie. He
Okay.
plays Opie. He's actually in Outsiders. He's in The Walking Dead. Remember that Saving Private Ryan, the soldier with the ear that got blown off, like got messed up. He couldn't hear anybody, and they're trying to ask him questions.
I have to see Saving Private Ryan. I still haven't seen it. Huh?
Fucking hell.
I know. I
What?
know. That's a movie I have to see. It's one of those movies. That's one of
If
them.
you really don't like freaking what was it, Vin Diesel, he has probably the most pathetic death in that movie.
He's in Saving Private
Saving
Ryan.
Private Ryan is one of Vin Diesel's like kind of like start like first movies.
He's in that fucking
Yeah,
movie.
he's saving some. I think
I had no
he's in
idea.
France and he's saving some girl, like little girl, and out of nowhere a sniper. He's like holding the girl like this, and then a German sniper, shoots him in the fucking back, and he gives the girl back to the father, and he ends up getting like fucked up, like he's just like lying there, just bleeding out, and then hands off a letter. And it's really fun. It's just like, okay, they had this guy in there for a few, like about maybe a fourth or to almost a half the movie,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's it.
Oh man, I mean that's a movie I have to see. You know, Michael Rosenbaum was almost in that movie.
Really?
He tried out for that movie. I found out.
Oh,
I don't know. I think he
I can
lost
see
the
him
part
playing
to
as like
Matt Damon.
somebody. Ah,
I think he was
but
gonna get like
I
more
can
of a
see
main
him as
part.
like a side character, one of the side people, because they
Yeah,
had like
I could definitely see him. Like,
one of the side people were kind of. He was a translator, like he can just speak. He was supposed to be the German guy, like speak German for the people, and he was the most useless character they had. They could have had him do that and be better than this one actor that's in it.
yeah. Well, I find it funny
Uh,
that going back to Superman Man of Tomorrow, I find it funny that you actually, I mean, not funny, but I'm glad that you enjoyed this movie because I thoroughly enjoyed this film. I thought it was a really good time, and it kind of went back to Superman struggling, like not being so arrogant and like being
yeah,
able to
that's
do
why I enjoyed
everything.
it. He was
And
human.
yeah, he was human. He was really human. It kind of showed his human side, and in American Alien, you get that aspect too, like his complexity of what to do and what he should kind of become is apparent in that comic book as well, and it's definitely apparent in this movie. And I like how it's like they took like some inspiration from it, but it's different. It's like called its own thing, and it's different enough where you're not going to really pull too much comparisons to that book anyway. And that book is like would be better as like 4 episodes than a full
Okay.
out movie. That's kind of how that book would be better presented if they're going to do like a thorough presentation of that book. But like this is something kind of completely different. And the animation, what you were saying before with the animation, it kind of like when I saw the trailer, to be honest, I wasn't really that excited. I was like, yeah,
Yeah. See.
whatever. The animation kind of looks but like you said, like you kind of get used to it, and by that point, with the animation, once they're moving, it looks pretty good,
It
But
looks
like
good though. I don't
if
like the talking in the
mm,
beginning. The talking kind of was like slow. It
what
took too
talking?
long.
What was it talking?
There's a part when like Clark and the janitor was talking, and it felt a little slower than like the regular
Uh,
talking they were
oh,
doing. And I
like
was
the
like,
animation or like the dialogue?
the dialogue, and I was like, why?
I
Why
thought
are we
that I thought
taking it
it
too
was
long?
fine. I thought it was just like Clark Kent is out of his element. He's not really. He's trying to get his feet wet, and the only one he could really relate to is a working class guy, which is the janitor.
No,
That's
no,
what
no,
I thought it was fine. That
no,
actually
that's
shows
fine. But
his
like, it
human
just felt
dynamic.
like them answering each other would like. It took a little bit longer than I thought it was gonna be.
Like the
Like
pauses in between.
yeah.
I don't know. I would have to rewatch
me,
that
it
to
felt
really catch that.
to
That's
me it
something
felt
I
a
did
little
not
bit.
catch at all. I like their relationship. I like that little dynamic, and he gave him the coffee, you know. And
Yeah.
I saw on his janitor shirt, I saw R. Jones. I was like, oh no, that's him. That's Rudy Jones, you know. So like, if you're a Superman fan, you'll kind of pick up on them, those little bits. And this, you know, as another Superman kind of rogues gallery, Parasite. I was introduced to in Superman the animated series as well. You know, kind of shows when I grew up, and this like they made Rudy Jones more of a tragic character. Like he's more, you know, he's a good guy. You want to root. You want to root for this guy.
Hmm.
And Superman the animated series is just basically like, you know, he's just like a con man. He's just a jackass. You know, you know, whatever. You know, if he got hit by biochemicals. Like I don't care, you know. He's the but in this, like I felt really bad for him because he was just such a nice guy, and it showed that Superman's arrogance is kind of what was his downfall of Rudy Jones.
Hmm.
It wasn't even I wouldn't even blame Lobo on that fact. I blame solely on Superman because what I kind of interpret to that where he was taking the fight from Metropolis to Star Labs because he was talking to Lois and he found out that there's some like story underneath like the structure of Star Labs, like under on the basement
Yeah.
levels, and
Yeah,
like
he was saying that, but like the janitor, Jones, he was telling him in the before that he was saying no, there's a lot of secrets underneath this place.
right,
That he literally gave him more information, saying there's a lot of things here, but there's people watching that I can't say anymore
right,
because. And
exactly.
then you saw the shadow fit, the man in the trench coat shown over there.
Yeah, that was
Then we end
cool.
up we end up finding out who that is later on, but
Yeah,
it's
so
pretty
when
cool.
Superman's taking the fight to wait, hold on, give me 1 second, just keep talking, Matt.
Um, I don't know. I just keep talking. God, just leave me on the spot like this. All right. Yeah, it takes in the fight to like Star Labs, thinking like it would actually. I'll say. I don't know how to say it. Like I think give them like that kind of edge. Maybe they see this other being and they say, "Oh, let's try to capture this thing." That's Lobo. But no. But yeah, there's a lot of tragic stuff. Whoa, what the hell's happened to my ear? But
Hello?
hello.
What happened? Did I miss anything?
Nothing. I was just trying to talk and do my nonsense.
So my laptop was gonna die. Um, yeah.
Okay. So Star Labs.
So okay, so he brings the fight to Star Labs, and like basically, this is Superman Clark Kent thinking, "Oh, this is the way I could get infiltrate this structure. I could just smash it to pieces by getting Lobo to follow me." That's how I interpret that scene. Like just Superman, like Clark doing anything to get the story. So he
Hmm.
decided to bring the fight where it would benefit him, you know, and meanwhile he basically destroyed the life of Rudy Jones, you know. And
True.
I thought that that was going to be more of an aspect that Rudy Jones was going to blame more Superman than
Hmm.
Lobo. I think he would like have a equilibrium, like blaming both of them like equally, but that didn't
Hmm.
really wasn't really apparent. You know, that's what I was kind of expecting because, like, he brought the fight to him. You know, he's the one who
Well,
flew away
yeah,
from
but the thing
Metropolis.
is, like, in his mind, that he already saw Clark Kent as random flying biker guy
Yeah.
and flying and saving them from the rocket already.
Hmm.
So they probably just said in his whatever mind that was left in his parasite mind of his head, that he would blame Lobo more because Lobo is this creature that's destroying everything prior and chasing Superman. So I would say he would have a more of like a that guy's the evil guy, not that guy that's flying and trying to fight him.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I guess so. He's the one who kind of shot off this like poison, like parasitic, you know,
Yeah.
gunk onto him, who kind of created the monster. So someone just entered the room and they weren't like incognito at all. They were like pretty obvious. But anyway,
Oh, that's
it was
good.
really distracting.
Whoa. Okay. Okay.
But but
Oh, jeez.
where was I going with that? I forgot what I was saying. What do you?
I don't know, but let's move on. Let's just move on to let's just say this. We have one character has been hiding incognito the whole time throughout the movie until
Oh,
about
there you
halfway
go.
point.
Good transition.
Uh Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, yeah, that was.
Actually, I'm happy with this design of him, actually.
Yeah, he looked
I
great.
haven't seen him like that style or like close to his like first appearance in Justice
Mm,
League for me in a long time. Everyone's been adding to him and changing his look, and
yeah,
I have been hating it. The one look I really hate is on Supergirl,
I haven't seen
and
really too
it's
much.
just
Supergirl.
gross. He has some gill thing going. I don't know.
I think I
It's
know
not
you're talking
okay.
about. He looked all
Um,
right. He didn't look
it's
terrible,
it's
but
good for
that
TV,
show, yeah,
that show, and
yeah.
like trying to make him a real character than a CGI or animated character.
Mm,
But like it doesn't. I don't like it. But like this one actually, it gives me that like, oh, they actually care and made him actually what he's supposed to look like that I know of.
yeah. I liked his design where he was like in his natural creature element. Like
Oh,
he
dude, that
looked
was awesome.
sickening. Like his face, like this, like looked like his
I
mouth. He looked all fucked up, and it was great.
I thought he
I
was an
like how he
alien
looked
that's from
scary.
Stars.
Oh, really?
Star
That's
Labs. I thought for one point it screwed me up because I was like, I didn't know he did the thing. At one point, I was like, oh, all right, what's this thing? Oh, this is a phantom alien thing from Star Labs that
yeah,
broke out. And
yeah.
I'm like, this is fucking weird. Maybe this is why the creature's happening. And then out of nowhere, he just shows up at Clark's house saying, yo, that was me. Like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I really enjoyed the presentation of the Kents in this film as well. Like, I like Jonathan Kent. I liked the voice actor who did him. I forget his name, but
He sounds
I thought
familiar too, but I can't
yeah,
remember.
he definitely does. I think he's a known actor. But like, I liked how they portrayed it, and they went back kind of. This movie seemed like it went back to the roots of like classic Superman. They even
Mhm.
gave him the red undies. They
I
gave him the
know.
red
I
undies.
know.
What's with all the, why are they taking the red undies away? That's
I don't
what is
know.
with all the hate of the red undies? That's
Because
what
grown
makes
ass
Superman
man and not
Superman.
supposed to wear underwear
Yeah,
on
but it's
outside
like,
their pants.
it's a tribute to strong men, supermen basically, like these bodybuilders of like the 1920s and 30s. That's where it reverts from. And I liked how they got the idea, like when like Clark saw a picture from Lois Lane's like catalog of photos, and it was like Batman, and he had a cape. Like you only saw it for an instance, and he was like, it said "cool cape" as like a posted sticky note, and he was like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, I'm gonna put a cape on my costume now because capes are
Well,
cool."
well,
You know?
technically, no. Like it's. Well, you said Lois Lane, right?
Yeah.
No, no. It's the mom, the Kent, Miss Kent.
No, that happened before. That happened before. That was before that. He put on, like how he put on the blanket, like the sheet of his bed, and he flew out the window, and then it immediately flew off. So that's where you get there's like a little picture of Batman. It was like a blink and you'll miss it kind of moment,
All
and
right.
it said it was like Batman kind of running on this rooftop, and it
Because
said "cool cape" like as a posted sticky note, and then
I don't know because Miss
the
Kent said
part,
like, oh, from seeing this mysterious
yeah.
Batman guy, I got a idea of getting you a
Yeah.
cape.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
And this
it
too.
kind of goes. That's where it goes full circle.
Yeah.
That's kind of that was like the bow end of that kind of moment.
And it's
So,
pretty neat that how Batman's already pre-established than
mm,
Superman, even though Superman was the first DC character
yeah,
to be
no,
invented, but he was
yeah,
before Batman in this movie is actually pre-established
yeah.
before Superman.
I do like the idea of Batman being around before Superman because he's like more human. He kind of, you know, gives off the balance of humanity. Like this is just a guy from planet Earth, and then like his whole world would be crashing down when Superman enters the picture. Like
Yeah.
he'll
So
like feel like he's nothing at that point, which I find that like contrast of ideologies too is like very interesting. And they even did that with the animated series. Like it was Batman the animated series and then Superman the animated series.
mhm,
And then Superman kind of came around after Batman was pre-established, and they just thought Batman was like a wacko
yeah.
because he was wearing a cape and like he was like brooding, like lurking through the shadows in that night. And then we have this optimistic superhero who's like appears broad daylight. He doesn't even wear a mask. His face is shown across every newspaper
Yeah.
outside there, and like people are like kind of think Batman's a creep, and Superman's like this optimistic, hero. So like that's what I really enjoy about their ideologies. And then eventually when they meet, they kind of realize that they're on the same team. Obviously,
Mhm.
there's going to be a first clash, and then they'll figure out kind of
Well,
what gaps they fill. And it seems like they're setting up like a universe with Batman and everything.
yeah,
Um,
that's what I'm hoping. Like this movie actually gets a good reviews. That it actually
yeah,
trickles down to like maybe a new series or maybe another movie setup. That
mm,
maybe we'll get a Batman movie, and then
yeah,
that trickles like into getting into like Batman versus Superman, their little
yeah, yeah.
setup, and it's gonna be probably better than any Batman
Better
that
than
we
the
have out right
Dawn of
now.
Justice. Yeah,
Yeah, it would because it would make more sense because if Batman's already established in Superman's timeline of right now of this
yeah.
movie, that means Batman has like at least a few years on his belt that makes him feel like you're saying he's better. He's this
More
human that they
established.
established. He's better, and he believes he's been that he knows a lot of things until this mysterious super
Yeah,
being that comes out of nowhere is doing a lot more than he ever has done in his years.
yeah. He would have more experience than Superman, and that's when I think it would be interesting too. Like he's more experienced, but Superman comes along and he has like obviously his power levels are like here to compare to
Yeah,
Batman. But I think his experience and Superman's power levels will kind of equal off. Like his
yeah.
brain and and Superman's power will kind of equal off, and they'll actually have a interesting kind of competition and dynamic
But
between the two
I
characters.
kind of want Batman if they do introduce this Batman. I kind of want him to be a more of a grittier Batman in a way.
Like a good one.
No, a grittier, not like a good
Oh, grittier. Oh, okay.
more
So
gritty.
Ben Affleck.
Yeah, not yeah, but no, but like
That gritty? Do you want to go that gritty where he murders people?
no, like just more like he's willing. Like okay, let's
He's
say
like more battered and like kind of
yes, he's
like
more
tired out.
yes, he's more like he has the years of the job on
Yeah,
him,
wearing it
and
on his
yeah,
face,
said this yeah, it's not like more like, "Oh, it's another fucking day. Alright,
basically.
let's just go out there, and now I'm
Yeah.
go and hang out in my
At this
mansion,
point, it should be
do all my
easy. It
women."
should be easy for Batman to kind of combat like the Joker and like, well, not easy for the Joker, but like it's like kind of a day to day thing, and he kind of has it under his belt. Like he has it somewhat under control. And then Superman comes in. Then he introduces aliens. Fucking Batman world is fucking gone berserk. He got too comfortable. He was wearing his bat pajamas too long. And then fucking there's a fucking alien outrage, and then Batman should be pissed. Like, what the fuck? I was I was getting a higher ground at this point, and he had to
Oh
fucking
god. Batman just walks out of his house with his cave with a mug, the bat mug, and just says, "Oh, today's a great muggy day. Oh shit, what's that in the sky?"
yeah, it's like a fucking rocket ship. Yeah, exactly. That's what
Oh,
I want to see.
that's
I
what you
want
wanna
to see.
see?
I want to see Batman like really comfortable with his job, and then like everything just crashes down behind
That's the sad thing.
him.
I see. I actually kind of do enjoy that idea that you're throwing out there too, but no one is gonna make that because that's not Batman
Yeah,
unless you have Adam West do
you
it,
can do it. You
and
can
then it
pull it off.
changes it.
You can definitely
Like
pull it off.
no, that's when they should bring in the Adam West Batman, and then like once like he's just having his day and just drinking his coffee and sees the spaceship, and then it goes like pans across like just behind his mask and see it crash, and you just like it goes back to his face is a different costume in Batman.
Oh my
Just like it just
It's
automatically
another,
changes.
it's another Batman. It's like
Yeah,
Michael Keaton's Batman shows
yeah, it
up.
just changes. It's like it just changes, like flips. And it's like that was quick.
If it was Adam West Batman meeting Superman, they wouldn't have a confrontation at all. They're going, "Oh yeah, let's dance."
Want
And
some
then
pie? Yeah, let's do some dancing. Yeah.
there wouldn't be like any like you know ideology clash because Batman and Adam West, he would just show up in broad daylight. He wouldn't care. Like he'd just talk to the
Yeah,
commissioner
you're
and like make
like
public appearances. So like he was kind of like he was doing the Superman appearances as Batman.
yeah,
A little bit.
but still with a mask on, and then
Yeah, he's wearing the
his
mask.
little Wonder Friend, his little Robin.
Yeah, Robin in his pants and his
Did
tights.
he have his pants? Did he have his
I
pants
don't know.
really? He was
No,
just underwear.
yeah, that's what I mean. He was just wearing like a loincloth or whatever. Yeah, he had his pantyhose on. He had his pantyhose. But
You mean
but
briefs?
I hope like if they're gonna make this the new DC universe, I do like how they started out with Superman, but Batman is already established. Like so, there's already some
Yeah.
stories that can be shown. I hope they kind of take their time with this, unlike what the movie universe did. I hope they do another Superman sequel, of this animated movie, and it's just another Superman movie. Maybe you could show like a cameo of like Wonder Woman or Aquaman or something like that, or even Batman. Maybe like a small cameo. And then I would just like a Batman movie, and then maybe a small cameo from Superman, and then that kind of leads up to the fourth movie where they kind of
Hmm.
unite at some point.
I don't know. Knowing DC, I like the idea you're saying, but like
Yeah.
knowing DC is still gonna rush things. But at the same time, it's been like, what is it? No, actually, it hasn't been that long. It's been a half a year since they dropped Red Sun. So
Yeah, that didn't
I
come
don't
out.
know. So
Well,
that
Red
maybe
Sun
the
seemed
last.
like it's its own kind of movie. It's like in its
No,
own universe.
yeah,
I
but
don't
that's
think
its
it's
own.
setting
But
up
that's still
any.
DC. That's still Warner Brothers DC and all that junk. So like, if they produced it, they made it, and they slapped it out there like a half a year, like about like yeah, 5 6 months ago, almost half a year, and now they have this new movie that's already out.
Mhm.
So like they are trying to pick up the ball again with stuff, but like it's just like they should take their time developing a story instead of rushing it. But
Yeah,
they're gonna do
that's
it.
that's what I mean. I hope. I don't think they'll rush it because I don't know. I have faith in actually the animated department of DC because they
Mhm.
like that's where they're excelling. Like their
That's
animation and their movies are
yeah.
really top notch. And I just wish they took the animation department, who's ever in charge of these stories, just make them fucking write the actual like cinematic universe stories and just have them do it. Like they already proved themselves.
Uh,
They can make a
I
movie. They
know,
can
but like
write it.
the thing is not that is the thing is not it's the people it's the money it's the people like
I know.
the
It's all the
money department.
producers. I
And
know.
told them they're like, oh, we need to put this out. We need to put that out. I don't care if you make a good story. We need to make this even faster because we need the money.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. Like,
Well,
and then once you make actual live movies, you have to throw the freaking directors, the producers' names on top of it. They don't care the freaking animation place because really, not a lot of people really pay attention. And
not to, it, does- it's obviously isn't the moneymaker like movies are, for sure.
no,
But it definitely has its audience. It's definitely making money, and
yeah.
I think this is actually getting pretty good traction. That to be honest, like that when I first saw the trailer, I wasn't really into it. I just thought it
Mhm.
was just kind of like I wasn't into the animation. I was just like, oh, this kind of just seems like another like bland Superman movie. But you know what? I really enjoyed this movie. I actually want to say I almost loved this movie. I can't say I loved it because I only seen it once. Like
Mhm.
after I see it a few times, then I can kind of give it more of a measurement of how much I really enjoyed this movie. But like I would obviously watch it again. It had a lot of heart that's missing from Superman movies and like Superman storylines. Like even some of the new 52 animation. That Superman, I wasn't really that into it. I did like
It's something was wrong with his face
it was his face and
and like his
even the
face.
voice was kind of weird to me. And
Mm.
I didn't like I I didn't like in like the Justice League movies at least. Like I did like him in Death of Superman. I thought he actually was kind
Mhm.
of showing the essence of what he was supposed to be. But like in the Justice League movies, he's kind of a little too arrogant for my liking. Like obviously, if you're gonna be Superman, you got to be kind of arrogant, but in the same limelight, like Superman grew up on a farm. Like he should be the most like basically like simple down to earth guy. Like you should be
Yeah.
able to have a cup of coffee with this guy and talk to him about anything. I'm talking about like roasting marshmallows at a campfire. Like he can definitely relate to
It
that.
feels
And
it
I
feels like
do
a
I
guy who
do
looks
like
like he just city life smacked him in the face, and he basically forgot his lifestyle,
yeah,
where he came from.
yeah, that's what it seems like. And it definitely showed a lot of the essence of the Kents and Smallville, and he was even saying that he's only a 10-minute flight from
Mhm.
Metropolis to Smallville, so he could go there anytime he wants to. And I don't know, that's what I was think it's missing from a lot of Superman stories, and I think they actually pulled this off really well in this. That's why I thoroughly enjoyed this movie.
Like one part I love that was another thing, like you mentioning, like he in this one right now, he still believes in like he's still that farm boy. So like I like the part when he's fighting Lobo and he says like Lobo's like, "Oh, you're no Kryptonian I ever met. You can fly. You can do all these
Yeah,
certain
yeah.
things." He's like, "Where the hell did you come from?" "I come from Kansas." And he's like, "Well, Kansas must have changed you." like,
Yeah, I did like that line. It's like
like
he,
I
he
was
ate
like,
a lot of meat and potatoes and corn out there. Like
it,
he's getting his farm meals.
yeah, like it was like a neat thing that like this like thing that had that he's like that his home was actually a thing that's changing him, even though
Mm,
it's really the sun on Earth, but
yeah,
like Lobo now in his head's like Kansas, fuck this kid, like made it
yeah,
better.
yeah. He's like, maybe I should train in Kansas.
Ooh, there you go. He's just gonna chill there at the farm doing deeds for the Kents
Yeah,
and have his bike.
yeah. You just do freaking weightlifting classes with the Kents. Just basically throwing hay bales and stuff like that.
Yeah, so no, yeah, that was
Milking
like
cows.
no, like it was like another thing, like the it kind of gave him his witty jokes back that he would have, and his little jokes that like Superman would have in his comics or in his like animated shows back when we were kids.
Yeah,
And those little things, and
yeah.
then
The lightheartedness for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then the one thing that was weird about this one is that Lois Lane, she was slightly a little bit different because no, she's always been about like this job is my life.
Yeah, yeah. I'll
Uh,
kill myself for the
I'll do anything
story.
for a story.
Yeah, I'll kill
And there's like
myself,
a part
basically.
there's a part when she's like trying to steal the story from
Yeah,
freaking Clark.
Clark,
I was really mad at this Lois for that.
yeah.
I didn't like this Lois. I'm like
You know
I
what?
feel like it's like a thing like it's like I just like I grew up like that. She would like I think she had a boundary that she would like at least when back when we were kids,
Mm,
and from the like that she would like be like, okay, he has the better story, but I'm going to get the next one.
yeah.
And this one, she's just like, "Oh, it's okay. You can talk to me. Someone a little bit better at their job and smarter and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
like
It's
basic
fine."
yeah,
And she's like waiting for him to give her all the information. She even says, "What's your sources?"
yeah.
And he's just like,
What
"Oh,
the
I
fuck?
didn't mean
Yeah.
you. I meant this other guy I
Yeah.
want to talk to."
I mean,
And
someone
it's
who would
like,
actually help me fucking
yeah.
battle this giant
Hey, bro,
kaiju
that
monster
part
at the
really pissed me off for a little bit with her. I was
you
like,
know, I
I'm
could
not okay with this
I
one.
could understand you being mad, but like Lois, like especially like back in the 40s and 50s, she would always just like fucking shit on Clark for a
No, I
story.
know that. I know she was shit on Clark. I know she would do all that like the joking, all that stuff. But like that part was just like,
Oh no,
what?
I was kind of,
F off.
I kind of accepted that fact because, well, they don't really have that relationship yet. They don't have that
No.
like they don't really I mean, obviously Clark respects her, but I don't think she fully respects Clark until like he kind of proves himself to be the like a good reporter on like equal grounds as Lois. So I don't think Lois Lane is going to respect anyone who kind of doesn't show like their own ambitions and their own drive to get the story, especially if they're working in the same department. So that's why I think she was in her head thinking, I'll get this burden off his shoulders. At the same time, it'll benefit me to get the story. And Lois Lane always, especially like in the George Reeves shows, would always just like lie to Clark. So like he would go the other way so she could get the story and then end up getting captured. And then Superman would have to fly and find her.
That's not stealing, that's tricking. That's different. That's different. That's not
slightly different. It's along the same line. That's why I wasn't too mad about it. Like if it was like Lois and Clark, like Clark's been working at the Daily Planet for years now, and they obviously are like on best friend terms, you know. I think then it would be a little like undercut, like backstabby. But since they literally just met like not that long ago, I'm not too mad about that. I think I accept Lois's drive.
It's just that moment. I wasn't mad at her the whole movie.
Just
that part. I was like, really? Just get this guy. This guy's trying to get into the career you're already in. Like, at least that credit that he's trying to do. He's actually doing his own story. No one's told him to do this yet.
All right.
And he's just doing it. And then you're just trying to steal it underneath his feet. Like, you're pulling the rug, lady. Just let him have the rug at that moment. I liked it. The rest of the movie. This is that part. Just like, why?
I do understand why you could be mad. I totally get it. But at the same time, I do accept what she's doing.
But it's just at that moment, it was just like,
and like I really liked Rudy Jones. I like this character. I like how he was established and how he's a good-hearted guy, and like I said,
bad.
I felt
back to his house.
Yeah,
it's so sees him as a monster.
Yeah,
and he's trying to have he's about to break down in monster world, and she sees him, and then she screams, and he's like, "Oh no, I need to get out of here!" And he gets out, and oh shit, he couldn't even. He actually was about to say something to her.
Yeah,
I think he couldn't get it out.
I think he was trying to speak. He said one word. I think he said her name, but he has these jowls and this different facial construction where you can't audibly make the sounds of our lips smacking to conjure up words if you don't have any lips, And he just has a jaw protruding out with orc tusks coming out. So he's not gonna really be able to say much.
There is no saying. It's just gonna be just growling and roaring and all that. Yeah. Let's just talk about his final form.
Yeah.
What's going on with his final form? Because his final form reminds me of Godzilla 2000. There's a monster.
Totally kaiju vibes from.
There's a monster. There's a monster in Godzilla 2000. I forget his name, and he's an alien that comes to Earth millions and millions of years ago. He's dormant, and he reactivates, and he shapeshifts to a lot of things, to different forms until the last part of the movie is when they actually have the real battle, and he has a form, but his being is supposed to eat and adapt what he thinks the most dominant species on a planet that he's on.
Could be Superman.
So this monster tried to eat Godzilla. So when he's eating Godzilla, he was getting the form of Godzilla. Plus, prior to that, he got some of Godzilla's DNA in him that already gave him that Godzilla look. So this creature kind of looked like what that creature kind of looked like at one point.
You mind showing a screenshot? I want to see what you're talking about, because that sounds really familiar, similar to this movie. Because I was totally getting kaiju vibes at the end, and then while I was watching it, I was like, "Oh, Matt's definitely gonna enjoy this part," because he's like shooting basically atomic breath. He has like
It was an atomic breath. That was a Godzilla atomic breath. I was like, what
yeah,
the hell?
yeah. He had like basically
Um,
atomic breath at one point, and he like had a supersonic screech that like basically deafened Superman for a little bit. Um,
yeah.
but I wasn't expecting Parasite to be this giant fucking monster.
Yeah, they fed him a lot.
Yeah, you
They gave him
know,
a good feeding.
and Superman the animated series, like once he would like get the
Oh, no, I'm doing
power,
the
like
video.
once he would drain the power of a human or like anything living, like they would still be alive, and then over time they would slowly kind of gain consciousness and become like, you know, aware of what happened. And this, he just straight up sucks the life and essence out of every living thing and every energy source that's on planet Earth, and he just like kills everyone he comes in contact with. It's so horrific, you know, when you see basically he's at a pharmacy, he's like, I need meds. And the fucking pharmacist is like, oh, well, you need a prescription, and then he just basically just
Yeah, that was
murders the guy. And I was like, oh my gosh, you know. And then the two like customers who are at the pharmacy are like kind of shaking the guy, are like, are you all right? And like they realize he's dead, and then they start to run out the door, and then the parasite kills them too. It's like a horror movie. Like
it's weird. Yeah.
I could see a horror movie with just Parasite. That would be like a pretty cool movie, you know.
Actually, it would there's so many kind of movies out there already, but seeing Parasite going through that change was awesome. And then he tried taking down Lobo in 2, but he absorbs the shield, but he's in human form. He absorbs the shield that's preventing Lobo to leave, and that's when he ends up turning into this monster more.
Yeah, the more energy he like absorbs, the more
He
creature-esque he becomes, and it's like
Yeah, I found the creature like it's more of it's like the face. I'm like the creature I'm thinking of. It's more the face, and then the body. It kind of like it's not 100%. It's just like right here. This
I've seen
picture.
that thing before.
Yeah, this guy right
I've
here.
seen that. I think he had a
Like
toy
right
of
here.
that. Didn't you have a toy?
I had all these toys, but I had a lot of. It's more in the face, like the neck to face area.
Yeah.
Everything is like more bulkier than what he was, but like it just had this similar look that I said.
That's
I
an
was like,
interesting.
"Oh."
That's an interesting concept. That it seems like they were probably inspired by this as well.
It's like
Which is funny. It kind of goes full circle. You know, I mean, we don't really know, but Godzilla could possibly have been inspired by
well, when
Superman.
was Parasite
You
made?
know?
Like when was Parasite introduced?
I want to say the 80s. Parasite.
I'm doing the same thing right now.
I don't know. I would assume the 80s, maybe the 70s. I do like how like Parasite looks like a monster, like a blob, you know.
Yeah, I see the one from Superman animated series
Oh
right
no,
now. He's just a human.
66.
66. So Parasite was introduced really early. Then the Orga from Godzilla. I'm probably not pronouncing it right, but it's from Godzilla Orga.
I mean, most of Parasite's like interpretations, um, he's not like a giant kaiju monster. Like he gets big at points, but he would be like the size of the Blob from like X-Men. He wouldn't be like a fucking Godzilla monster, you know.
I hear you, but I think that's what that's a good way of doing it though.
Yeah,
With
no,
this
I did
this
like
thing
it.
it can absorb abilities and power and give it more strength, and it keeps growing. That's what Parasite kind of is.
No,
But like it just yeah, I kind of like and like the Orga was only it was introduced in yeah, this guy was introduced just in 1999, really when the first
wow.
Godzilla 2000 and Godzilla 2000 Millennium came out. So probably for this guy, they kind of like whoever was designing him probably maybe had some ideas from that
Yeah, I would.
to give him this like this kind of a look.
No, yeah, I would say this movie was probably inspired by what you're talking
Because
about, like
hold on,
making him the kaiju kind of giant monster. Did you like his design? I thought he looked
I
really
love
cool.
the
I
design. I
thought he looked
enjoyed
awesome.
it.
I thought you would really enjoy. Like while I was watching that, I was like, "Oh, this is perfect." Matt. I was thinking like Matt would definitely enjoy this scene. Like
No,
that's what I
it's
was thinking the
you
whole
want to
time.
see the ridiculous form that they gave the guy from Godzilla 2000, his first form, before he turns into the actual monster you get to see him
Yeah,
fight
let's check it out.
as. It's really ridiculous. Oh, let me see if I can get a bigger picture to come up.
Transformers.
Oh my god. Oh shoot. Here we
All right.
go.
It should be showing up in three, two, one. We should probably describe these things too for the audience members who are just listening. Oh,
Okay. This guy. This is more of like it's an alien. It definitely is an alien. It's more of a it's more tentacle, fat head thing. It's more of like ET got a fucking head expansion, okay?
it
But
looks
he's
like
all tentacle.
yeah, it looks like a flying saucer with a face with
That's what
tentacles coming out of the
that's what
bottom.
happens in this movie. The Godzilla,
Okay.
his spaceship shows up as a rock, but then they end up like releasing it from where it was landed, and then it floats up, it stands up straight up, and then later on it flies away.
Hmm.
Godzilla like hits it with a beam, then he becomes this monster thing,
Oh, okay, that's
this
cool.
weird object
You know what, Matt?
and
We should
creature.
we should do a review of the first Godzilla movie and that movie you're talking about. I feel like that would be pretty cool.
Okay.
Like we'll just do it on this podcast because it's loosely related to what we're talking about. So that's kind of where we're gonna bring this direction of the show. We're gonna loosely connect Superman and Batman to other things, but it's mostly the main bulk of our show is gonna be Superman and Batman. But we're gonna
Mhm.
kind of like kind of branch off a little bit. Like say, we talked about the Arctic Giant, it had similarities with Godzilla. So now we're going to talk about Godzilla stuff. And say, we could even like say we do more superhero stuff. I think we could like kind of branch off that way. As long as we kind of covered it in a Superman Batman kind of episode, then we could
Okay.
branch off. I think that's more than fair. Um, I'd be I'd be curious to what people think of that, but I think it'll be good. What were you gonna say, Matt?
Yeah, that'd be dope. I kind of want to talk about like the kind of like the ending of this movie.
Mhm.
There's one more thing. Like I can talk about it after, but there's part with the ending. It's like Superman's not really the real superhero. Like the real hero at the end. It feels
Yeah,
like
it's like an Iron
it's
Giant moment.
Paris.
It's like
It's Parasite because
yeah,
Superman. The only thing that Superman really like they fight, they do the battle, but like the power plant's about to explode and set off this giant explosion, and Superman like he does this like just talks to Parasite to interact with Jones inside of Parasite's like whatever's left of Jones inside Parasite's mind
mhm.
to make him convince himself that he's not this monster. And once that happens, he snaps into reality that this world's gonna blow up. His family's in this city, and he loves his family. He ends up saving everybody by absorbing the blast.
Yeah, that was
And
pretty
it's
cool.
weird. It's just like a different turnout of it all. Like I'm like, okay, that the villain ends up being the hero. I actually enjoyed it. It's a better twist than I wanted
Yeah,
than a lot of superhero movies I've seen.
it was like an Iron Giant moment where like Iron Giant sacrifices himself,
Hmm.
for the greater good. It kind of seemed like he did the same thing, but like he was more viewed as the villain. Um,
Hmm.
But when Superman was talking about, oh, so you inherited my essence and like kind of how I care about these people.
That too.
When he said like, oh, you inherited what's going on with me protecting these people and what's in my heart. Like at that point, I was like, oh, okay, that's a little corny, Superman. I was like, what the fuck? But like I kind of just, smirked at it, and then like they just moved past it. I'm just glad they didn't like
Focus
bombard
on
you with love dialogue. You know what I mean? Like, oh,
Yeah.
love is the answer. You know, like they just kept doing that. I'm glad that that's not how it ended with like him going like, "Oh, I love everyone," and like
And
just
they
him like,
just hug each other.
yeah, something
Like a
stupid.
giant monster hug on Superman. Like when he squished Lobo, it's just a hug instead.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't
Oh,
do that. But like, you know, Superman saying corny stuff like that kind of fits his character. So like,
no, it does.
I'm kind of
That's what he
I'm all for
was.
it, you know. But you know, I want to go back a little bit. There's two things I want to mention.
Okay.
When fucking Parasite killed Martian Manhunter,
That's what I was gonna get to
I
after this.
was like, what?
That's what I wanted to get to. I was like, no, why? They can't do that to him. They
No.
can't. Okay, if one superhero that like that, I would say this: Martian Manhunter cannot die in any way. He's one of my characters that I
It's
don't.
like
He's a
sad.
preserved, yeah, it's a preserved
So
character.
sad.
You can't
Yeah.
kill this guy. You
Yeah.
can't ever. I don't care what he's done or what happens in the story. You cannot kill Martian Manhunter just because of how his character is.
Yeah.
It's just why.
He's just
I was
so kind of innocent, you know. Like I felt so bad. I was like,
And
oh,
he's an innocent. He's like, oh, he's innocent. He's wise. He's like all these character like characteristics, and he's like, you kill him. And it's like when I saw that, I'm like, they fucking crossed the line. They crossed the line again. Like what the fuck?
you know, when they did that, I was like, wow, this movie has balls. You know, I said that like I was like, this
What?
movie has balls.
Nobody kill. If you accident, like if anything happens, like really, if you do something, the Martin like the Manhunter, Martian Manhunter, he just blows up. And he's like a little tiny little thing. If they do something, like he's like, or he comes back at the end. You never fully disintegrate him to
Yeah,
ash and bones.
and like you know, fire is one of Martian Manhunter's
Yeah,
weaknesses.
that's his
So when
yes.
Parasite inherits Superman's laser eye vision, you think he's just fucked. I thought he was dead. I thought he was gone, like gone.
Yeah, that's what happened. Then later on, he shows up and he just says, "The Superman's like, I thought you were gone." He's like, "No, I made you believe what I wanted you
Yeah,
to see."
because he's like a
And I was like,
shapeshifter.
"What?"
You know, he's a shapeshifter, so he could kind of do that. But like, maybe he did. You know, like how like things play a possum, like opossums pretend they're
Yeah.
dead. I think that's basically what Martian Manhunter did. Like he pretended he died, but like I think if Parasite kept hitting him with the beam, like
Mhm.
in reality, he would have ultimately died. You know, but I think he played possum just like at the right moment.
Yeah,
That
like it was just
that's
like
kind of what saved his life.
they did a good they hit that. They did the trick with that really well. And I was
Mhm.
just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I wasn't mad at all. Like when he came back, I was like, oh, good, he's
No, I
not.
was happy. I was like, yes, you can't kill that character.
Yeah, and they did a similar thing with Lobo. Like you actually see his arm like fall
It
into the
slides
lake.
back in the water.
Yeah, so I thought he
Yeah,
was dead, you know, but he shows
you
up.
can't kill Lobo either.
I don't really know Lobo's too much of Lobo's powers. I don't know what his first appearance was.
I know he's pretty much like indestructible in a way of sorts. That's why if you saw the body when he opens up when he's like at the power plant, he's like Superman's like, "Oh, I'm surprised there's not a lot of people here." He's like, "Yeah, I call it a bomb threat in the plant."
Oh
And he's like,
yeah,
"What?" And
you
he's
should
like,
lie
"You
about
shouldn't." He's like, "I'm not lying." And he opens up his vest and he has all the bombs there.
Yeah, that
And
was
I was
cool.
just like, all right, yeah, that's like he's not worried of dying because he knows he's gonna come back.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gonna bounce back in a way. So like he knows his limits.
Yeah,
So I
I did.
of things.
Yeah,
Like he was gonna suicide bomb. I have a feeling he was gonna do that to get his bounty.
I thought he just died. I thought he killed himself because he was that
No.
insane. You know, I thought he
Yeah,
just killed himself. I did like kind of like how he's like trying to allude to Lois Lane like during the interview. Like he was just trying to do these mating dances of like these Targaryen like races and all these different like you know cosmic fucking rituals that she doesn't know what the hell's going on. You know, she was just basically discussing him the whole. Well, no, he was disgusting her the whole time. And I thought that was pretty funny.
Oh, it's this giant biker alien dude
Yeah,
that's just out of control mental.
yeah.
And he's always has a cigar in his mouth at every moment. Like
I'm
he's basically kind of gross. So
I would be very curious how, like, say you're gonna do a live action Lobo movie, what do you do? Like, I feel like you could go totally off the rails in a bad way, like disgust every audience member and
uh,
no one would enjoy it, or you could go off the rails in the best possible way, where like everyone's like, "Wow, this movie's batshit insane! It's fucking
thing is,
awesome!"
Lobo Lobo is a character that needs you can't
I don't think he's a good main
he
focus character. I
no
think he's
he,
a better
no
side character.
he's a character that's a side. He's a better character that's more introduced as a side character that makes it into like maybe 2 or 3 movies as a side character. Then when you have
Yeah.
developed a good description of him in these movies that he can get into
Yeah,
a movie,
that's
and
how
then
I would
the
agree too.
one way with him is that they can't go. I as much as I like Hellboy, Hellboy they kind of screwed up the
The original, like
Ron
the
the original 2000 Ron Perlman movies were the best
Guillermo del
like,
Toro.
yes, that was the good look of him, even though that the movie style wasn't how his comics are, but it was probably the best way they filmed them. The newest one that came out
I
last
heard that
year,
was awful.
I the thing is, I enjoy it.
I don't
The
see it.
makeup the makeup of it was just not
I heard it
good.
looked like it was like
It
gonna
wasn't.
fall off his face. Like at any point you thought the makeup was gonna fall off the actor's face.
No, they made him more caveman-y, fatty. They made him more. Well, what's his name? Stranger Things.
I know you're I forget the actor's name.
Yeah, he was heavy. He got really heavy after season 2 of Stranger Things. He's got heavier, and after Stranger Things 2, they picked him up for Hellboy, and he just had this weight, and he carried it through the movie. He said
Was
they
it
had him.
there? Was it like his fault or was it like production's fault?
I don't know whose fault really it is. I know they put him in exercise, like him behind the scenes. He went through weightlifting and kind of like some kind of workouts. They give him more of a muscle tone and his shape back. But the thing is, he did a lot of like shirtless scenes. Like, well, mostly he wore was a trench coat, and the trench coat covered up all his fatty leftovers that they didn't cover. So if you get a scene from the back end, you see fat folds
Oh
and all
no.
this stuff and you don't have that on Hellboy in the comics. Hellboy is not really a big, muscly character. He's more of a slimmer, lean
He's a
character
fat
with
guy.
a giant rock. But in this movie, he's a fatter
Yeah,
character.
I don't think
And something
I don't think I ever
happens.
need to see that movie ever. I haven't even seen the original Hellboy movies. Those I would be interested in seeing. This new fucking 2000.
Watch one. Just watch the
I thought
original,
the
the
I thought
first
the other
one.
ones were good. The sequel.
Watch the original. The sequel, it's good, but it falls off rails with the comedy. There's a lot more comedy than
Okay.
seriousness than in the first one was. The first one, it had the witty jokes and all that stuff that bounced back. But like second one was just like the first movie, like the first beginning of the movie was cringy because they have a baby, they have a young Hellboy with these like horns and gross
That's
teeth.
that's when I turned off the
And then
movie. That's when I
that's
turned it off. When I saw the baby thing, I was like, "Fuck
the
this," and then
second
I
the
turned
second
it off.
one, the Golden Army. That's what that was, and it was really corny. It
Wasn't that in
wasn't
the
good.
first one though? Wasn't the baby in the first
No,
one?
there's the baby is in the first one, but no, I'm talking about like teenage Hellboy in the second one.
Oh, that sounds awful. I
And it
saw.
was getting like told like a fairy tale story opening, and it was really ridiculous and cringy for me, and I just felt weird. And I watched the movie. The movie was good later on, but it kind of got more ridiculous because at the end he ends up finding us having kids and all this nonsense.
I'll
But
have to
like
watch it. I have.
The first one is a watch. That one's a good one.
Yeah.
The third one is if you're the new one is. To me, I watched it. I enjoyed it. There's some things that's wrong with it. I'm not gonna say it's 100% amazing.
I don't think I
It's
ever
a
need to
fucking
see that.
masterpiece.
I don't think I need to
It's
see
just
that.
that the storyline was good. The characters are all fine. It's just decisions they made were bad.
Okay, so let me ask you this: do you think I would like that movie? Would I?
No, you would hate it. You would fucking despise it. You would just say you have to talk to me for a month.
Okay. At least you're honest, you know.
No, that movie for you, you would hate life after you see that movie because you are you. But like,
Alright.
it's like that's like the description. Like if they did Lobo, going back to Lobo in this movie, if they went that direction, that's a bad direction.
Mm.
And then if they went, let's say Suicide Squad, Killer Croc, that was neat. They won an award, but that's the wrong direction still.
Yeah, he didn't do anything. He had no character, you
He
know.
had no character. They had nothing really. They didn't build. They didn't bulk him up. He was still a human. His regular body. Killer Croc's body style was still the normal actor's body with these scales and paint design on it. And if they just, I would say the best way of doing this is a CGI. Really, we have the power of making really human like characters. Let's the best thing to say it like the best way of describing it is me and Dan were talking about Uncharted 4. Uncharted 4 got awards for the most realistic people designed with
Yeah, they look pretty
new
good.
generations.
Yeah.
If we use that same style of engine and produce like these characters, we can do a lot of good things with it. It's just adding the motions and the voice.
I'd rather have Lobo be makeup than
I don't know.
CGI
It's just
character. I'd rather him be makeup
I don't know. It's just like
than
some
an
things
actual
that I'm
guy.
feeling.
Nah.
You can pull.
There's
You can
not.
pull.
He's not very complicated like design. He's just a biker dude who's white with black
But, like,
beard and like some makeup. That's it.
I just have a feeling they can fuck him up even that.
No, I think
I don't know.
going CGI would be way worse of a decision. But I do understand where you're coming from. But like, if it was like a more complex character, I
Mhm.
could see them going that route. Like maybe some like what they did with Guardians of the Galaxy 2 with like that blue crystal guy, whoever Michael Rosenbaum played, where you see him like in two
Oh,
scenes.
yeah. Okay.
Like if it was like some like transparent character, I understand why you go CGI with that. And at that point, they still did motion capture. At the very least, if you're gonna do the CGI route with Lobo, do motion capture so you get the real articulation of our complex emotions on
Well,
screen.
yeah, that's what I mean.
I wouldn't. I would just do makeup. I would just do full out fucking Rick Baker makeup, even though he retired. I would do something like that.
Oh, let's see. Let's see if someone can give him like a good look because I don't know. I don't know. There's some
That's
DC's
this.
choices aren't the best
If
choices.
if he was going to be introduced to like the DC cinematic universe, I would love for him to have a bounty on Superman, and then that's like the whole fucking movie. Him like just trying to fucking
Oh my
get
God.
Superman, like get this bounty off of Superman, and they like fall into line with like some other fucking villain or whatever. But I feel like that would be a very fun concept. If he was like a side character into that, and then it like led up to a bigger confrontation, or if that's the whole fucking movie, I would be down for that too.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
just him,
I know a couple of my friends would actually enjoy
just
that.
him, just trying to get the bounty of Superman. You know, like trying to get get the head of Superman. I'd be very interested in that. But like, if it was like him as a side character, and then like he ends up, like you said, like 2 appearances as side character, and then he ends up having his own movie, I think is the right way to introduce that character. But yeah,
It's just harder if it's like a main character like we've been seeing like Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and all of them. They I get them getting their main movie focus, but they did start off as side characters
Yeah,
too. So you
they at
got
least
softened.
had cameos,
Yeah.
even though the Wonder Woman cameo and the Aquaman cameo were so fucking pointless, especially the Aquaman one. Wonder Woman had at least more of an like a fucking presence in that movie, even though she wasn't necessary either. In Batman
Mhm.
versus Superman, she was just kind of there.
But that's her foot in the door. And then later on, Justice League was Aquaman and Flash's step in the door.
You know what I thought they were going to do with Batman vs Superman? I thought that if they actually did it right, I thought I thought that Lex Luthor would have gotten the DNA from like Zod and like Superman and like made his own Superman. Basically, he would have made Bizarro, right? And he looks kind of like a regular Superman, at least in the beginning. And then he's the one who's like demolishing, making Superman's name look bad on purpose through Bizarro. Mm-hmm. And then Batman thinks that that's the real Superman. Then he later finds out, like towards like
why are you not bringing these
2/3?
What the fuck? Like, we have discussed on this podcast, we don't like Zack Snyder. We have said it. We're not a big fan of him.
I like how he's
ruining movies.
I like his cinematography. I'll give him that. His cinematography looks good.
His direction of story is really horrible.
Yeah, he shouldn't write anything. He shouldn't write at all.
He kills. The first movie we see are two bigs of DC Universe. He kills off a big in the movie. Like first appearance of them fighting together, being together. You kill them off. Like
it's such a waste of the story.
Why would you do this? You built this whole thing, and we don't see a real outcome. You see them. They come together and they fight together, but you kill them all. No, we need.
No, you're right. There wasn't really
a real relationship afterwards, so Batman can have that. That's the one thing I was pissed about Justice League. Batman's all like, "Oh, he did, yeah."
Yeah,
he fought the shit out.
He was the one who wanted to murder him. Yeah, he wanted to murder him throughout the whole movie. I was curious to ask you, do you know when the Zack Snyder cut comes out? Do you know when that comes out? Because like
it was this month.
That's what I read. I read it was this month.
It was supposed to be this month on HBO Max. It was supposed to be on that. And I don't know.
When I heard
the copy to come out, I don't give two shits.
I mean, I want to see it more out of curiosity than me thinking it's going to be good.
Zach.
But yeah, I thought when they first announced it, I thought it was going to come out next year.
No, wow, okay. And now I'm seeing a picture. It was supposed to come out in 2000. There was a picture I just saw on Google saying 2021.
That's when I thought that sounded more realistic than it coming out this month, because I did read something it coming out September.
Oh, that's what screws us up.
What was it, the news, like the trailer or something?
It's the way they're marketing and the way of probably marketing and how they said it. It's supposed to come out September 5th, 2021. But the way they're marketing it's ready, and it's ready to be put out there. Everyone wants to see it and all that junk.
So
it
sounds like it's coming out this year.
About it.
You know, it would be really funny. This was what I was thinking. So, if it comes out next year, you know what we should do? We should release our movie around the same time, at least maybe a little earlier.
Okay.
The buzz is still going, and then people are looking up the Zack Snyder cut, and they find our fucking ridiculous.
Well, you know how many subscribers that have just joined HBO Max because they thought the movie was coming out this year? Imagine how many.
I probably a decent amount, because I thought I read that it was coming out
about to get a
September. And
I was about to be a subscriber this month to just see it too.
Because I haven't heard anyone talk about it it coming out, but when I looked it up, it said September, and I was like, "What the fuck? That's way too early." And it came out. It's coming out this month. But I don't know. our movie is definitely going to come out between, I would say, sometime between July and September of next year. That's where I
Okay.
kind of put it at. Somewhere in this that kind of realm next year. I was thinking maybe releasing it on Joe Schuster's birthday or something like that, or maybe around the same time. I don't know. What do you think, Matt? When do you think is a good time? Because I almost want to wait at the same time to at least have a screening of our movie too. So kind of
The thing is, like the wait, it's been a while. I really want this movie to get released. I can't. I do want it to be released sooner, but at the same time, with the way that your ideal of this movie that you want to do it as,
I do want to.
all
I
the
do want to have at
issues
least have a screening. That's
with all the issues that we're having right now, we don't with what's going on in the world, and we have to. If you want that, this is your movie, this is your baby, so take it in the direction that you want to take it because it's not. If you want to do the screening, you want to do that setup. It's not gonna happen if you try doing it now because not that many theaters are opening.
right, exactly.
Everything's still iffy if you try to do anything in the universe out there now. Oh, for us, I don't know
Yeah,
everywhere else.
there's a potential it could be released earlier. Maybe like spring or something.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't know. It really depends on what's going on through the world. Maybe we'll have like a one viewing party. I don't know. We'll have to figure out like how to really release it because I do want to have a actual audience reaction when we
No,
do
no.
screen it. You know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like it's just yeah, just do what you want to do with the damn thing, and just put it out there. It's just like if you want, don't rush something that you don't think is gonna be like an actual like good outcome. If it's not, if you rush it, it's not gonna be a good outcome
Right.
because you're not gonna be happy. I know you're not gonna be happy with what you're gonna have, and and if you take your time, I know you're gonna have a pleasant outcome of it, but at the same time, you will pick at it, but
I know.
enjoy it better.
You're right. You're right. You know how my brain works.
Yeah, so
Um,
yeah, so do what you have to do. I'm not gonna fight nothing. To me, I just know where I stand. It's been years and we've been working on this
no, yeah,
thing.
this
So
thing definitely needs to be released sooner than later. I
yes.
definitely agree with that. I just want to get an audience reaction. Um, I mean, it's basically the movie's probably like 75% complete, like editing
Hmm.
wise. I just gotta
Just mashing it
put it
together.
all together, kind of clean it up a bit. So I mean, it could come out pretty like sooner than later for sure. But I just have to. I do want to get an audience reaction before I release it in theaters. I mean, not what the fuck am I saying? I want to have a screening like before I release it online on YouTube. Like because if I release it on YouTube and then have a screening, people are like, "Well, I already seen this."
Hmm.
It's not gonna be the first reaction kind of thing.
Well, that's when we bring out other objects into the theater to make it more fun.
Yeah,
Meaning shirts and stuff and better reactions to the scenes.
yeah. Well,
At the end, we can maybe do a
no,
Q&A.
yeah, we could definitely do a Q&A. That would be fun. That's what I mean. Like, I actually want to make it like somewhat of an event, and even if like, we'll invite people who are in the movie, and even if like 20 people show up, I think that would be a success. I think I'd be more than happy with just a small audience.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know. We'll figure that out. But anyway, back to Man of Tomorrow. I think this was an excellent film. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would, and that's
Hmm.
I'm a Superman fan, so like I
Yes, you
thought
are.
I thought this movie was just going to be okay, and I thought it was actually pretty good. Pretty good. I'm like in the middle of good and great, so it's good. It's good right now.
My mispronouncing of
Uh,
grid, gritty
it's
is now your
it's
word.
it's not at great right now because I have to watch it a few more times, but it's at good. It's above good. It's good. It's good. What do you think, Matt?
Dude, everyone's knowledge, if you've been watching and listening to our podcast, I am not the Superman fan. I'm not the 100% gun ho of him. To me, I did enjoy the Red Sun edition, but it was still, what are you gonna do? It's Red Sun. It's a different outcome of it.
Yeah,
It's a different perspective. This
I think
one,
you enjoyed it more than I did.
yeah, I did, but after reading the comic, it changed it flip flop because it was a different story and all that nonsense, blah blah whatever, way better. But with this one, it's Superman United States edition. How he is, and I haven't seen Superman like this in a long time, and I was happy. I was excited to see him go backwards to something that we remembered him as and seen him as. So I actually say this is probably my favorite Superman movie I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, no, well, that's high. That's high appraisal.
Even with live action.
Yeah, so, I would agree. I would definitely agree. I hope they kind of go through this kind of this pathway that they're kind of reverting through. I hope it kind of sets up more of a universe. But I hope they do another Superman movie and then like kind of set it up that way, or do like a solo Batman movie and then kind of allude to Superman's presence and then have another Superman movie, something like that.
That's what I want them to do. I want them to do the whole at the end of the movie of Batman. I want Alfred that give him like a newspaper, and it shows something about saying aliens sighted in Metropolis.
Blah, blah, blah. That would be interesting.
And he doesn't see the title yet, but it ends off in a good like a good ending. Like it just eases out. But you know that's like a clue to what's going to happen in the next movie or end up to, like their together movie.
Yeah, I want them to make sure this universe is like bigger, widespread than it was in the Zack Snyder fucking version, where Metropolis and Gotham are literally side by side next to each other, so they might as well be the same fucking city. And like, why would Superman
dark?
And at that point, why would Superman go like, "Oh, this is there's the bridge. All right, this is my fucking borderline." You know, why would Superman go to Gotham? You're right there. Fucking Gotham's a shithole. Fucking do something. What the fuck are you doing? Why would you go like, "Oh wait, can't pass that line. There's a bridge."
The way you're describing it, it's funny. Is because like
it's so stupid.
It's funny. Is because like if you look at it, it's like New Jersey to New York City.
Yeah, exactly. It's basically
like that. It's funny like that you're describing it. It's like that, and it's like.
And if you're Superman, you
can
fly over a body of water. It's not like you have to take a fucking boat.
Nah. You're wrong by that, my friend. That water is kryptonite water, and the water gets evaporated, gets into the sky, and it ruins his life after that point.
I guess so. Batman dumps some kryptonite fucking sludge into the water system, so he's like, "Yeah,
I'm gonna show that fight."
This is
just gonna throw this shit in there.
That's so dumb.
Liquid kryptonite.
But I hope
it's like, oh my god, that'd be funny commercial ever. It's like those. I was describing like, remember those commercials if you stay up too late on like any like the like Spike or something. It's like at 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock. It's just completely commercials, and it's just like a random just. Hi, I'm Batman. If you want to take down the flying freak that's around going on, just get a bucket of kryptonite liquid.
Yeah,
you can throw it in any kind of body of water or any kind of sewage.
I could see
it's only going for $9.99. If you get the giant tub, it's $29.99.
I could see the Joker doing that. You know, like how he was like selling like beauty products in the first Tim Burton Batman movie. Nicholson, like love that Joker. Like I could see him doing that. You know, that kind of seems like a Joker
but
thing.
It's just like. What would just be funnier?
It would be funnier as Batman.
It's just stupid.
Yeah.
It's just like, but no, that is like a Joker more. No, you are right. It's more a Joker thing. But like the way we're describing this, like Superman can't cross water. It's Batman trying to prevent it.
Yeah, it's so stupid. Oh my god. But well, anyway, I hope with this universe they make it a vast world and not like fucking cities, like neighbors, next door neighbors. You know.
No, I want Batman to get in his plane and I'm going in my plane to fly like 2 hours
Yeah,
away.
exactly.
To
I
go
want
to
it.
his
I
next
want them to be far away. Yeah, and in his bat plane, I want it to be 2 hours away,
Wait, what?
where he's flying like thousands of miles per hour.
What was it? What was it? I was looking at like pictures that some guy drew, or there was like a video that actually was like a thing in one of the shows. Like, all right, let's go, and like Batman's like, all right, and he gets in his plane, and like the Justice League just like says, all right, let's just give him a few minutes to fly out there,
It sounds
and
like
they show
robot
up
chicken.
there.
That's
And some I feel like it probably is. It's just like Batman gets in his plane, flies out there, and the Justice League
it's
just
like
is already
waiting for him.
there, just waiting for him. Like,
Yeah,
you guys know I'm just human. Like, come
yeah.
on, like, oh, let's get this going. That was like another thing that was like cool. Like they kind of did that in the Arrowverse. Arrowverse, Supergirl and Flash can go super fast, and then you see 2 seconds later is the Green Arrow shows up on his motorcycle, and he's like, "You guys know I don't have super speed. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck?" That was like that. That's the one thing I do like about these heroes, and
Yeah, I do like
those
that.
jokes.
I feel like with the Arrowverse, I think I discussed this before. I think they made Green Arrow too much like Batman. That's why I
Yeah.
kind of was turned off by him. I was like, well, I already have this with Batman. I wish like they kind of did the character dynamic how he is in the comic books, like more jokey and lighthearted, you know, and
Well, it
like
gets that way
a little
later
more
on in the
arrogant.
series.
You know, I want to see my Green Arrow to be arrogant and like kind of up his own.
He gets that in his last 2 seasons.
Mhm.
Like that's when he starts getting there. But the last 2 seasons, he's hoping that he's gonna die anyway, so that's when he starts becoming
What does he die from?
more. In the crossover, he doesn't want the Flash to die. He wants him to die instead because he believes he's the most shittiest person in the world.
Because he like abandoned
So
his son or something.
no, he believes that he is like. No, he believes like what he's done. He's killed people, did all this other junk, and he believes that Barry is more of a kind soul and a better person, and believes that Barry's supposed to live longer than him.
But Matt, does he
I know.
believe in life after love?
Shut up.
Yeah,
So that's why he chooses to die. But like in the crossover, I'm gonna spoil for you.
Oh!
He
I
do
don't
you
care.
care?
No.
He dies, but then this guy brings him back as a different being, but the same. It's him,
What?
but he's a higher level.
Is he God? Is he
But
Jesus?
no, he's not.
He
He's
comes
just like a
Green Arrow Jesus.
yes. No, he's not.
A
It's
green
it's like
Jesus.
he gets us a power boost, and basically that's how it is. He gets a power boost, but he ends up dying. He ends up dying at the end, like legit dying. So they kill him off twice in this series, this crossover series scene.
I don't know.
But yeah,
I'll have to watch that at some point. But
but
what were you gonna
yeah,
say?
it's just like how it takes. But like that's off topic of what we're talking
Yeah.
about.
What do you have any final thoughts or words on Superman Man of Tomorrow?
No, like mostly I do every freaking podcast. I just I like to say like it's a good movie. Guys who haven't guys, girls, you haven't seen this movie yet, go watch it, enjoy it. Maybe hope like get the same reactions that we have.
Yeah,
From
I think you
watching
would.
it.
I think especially if you're a Superman fan, you would definitely get
And
a lot out of it.
yeah, and if you and that they decide to continue this age of the storyline, I hope they go down the right path and don't screw it up.
Yeah, I hope they continue this universe. I do thoroughly enjoy it. And at first, I wasn't like into the animation, but once it starts moving, I was like, oh, this is good, you know. But like, if you take a still shot of it, it's not
It's
like the
not
most
the
pleasing thing. But what like the action and the movements is pretty solid. So I definitely give it a
I
pass.
think that's one reason why I enjoy it. It's because it's not overly done. It's just simple draw, like a simple
Mhm.
sketch, and it's not over yeah, it's not overly done. It's not overly produced. Like it's supposed to be like this amazing thing. I didn't even know it was coming out until I saw it in an email.
Man, how
I
did?
saw it in an email. I snapped the picture to you and I sent it to you and said, "Do you know anything about this?" Like, no.
Yeah, well, I remember you sent it to me, and I was like, yeah, I know of it, but like, I didn't know it was coming out so soon. And
Mhm.
once you sent it to me, I was like, all right, we should probably review this. And you're like, yeah, yeah, probably. So, and I'm glad we did because I almost overlooked this movie, and I really enjoyed this movie. Like, it would have been a sin for me being a Superman fan not to watch this movie. And
You
I'm
made
really
many sins of watching the Zack Snyder
I know.
editions.
I that's what I mean. I definitely thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I liked it a lot more than I thought I would, and I was actually pleasantly surprised by that fact. I think Red Sun kind of brought down my like my expectations or like my levels of excitement. I was like, oh well, that movie kind of sucked. It's probably this movie's probably not gonna be as good, and I
Mhm.
really liked it. I thought it was great, and I liked how Superman was at the point where Jimmy Olsen is when he's kind of more established. Like Clark Kent's like one of the
Yeah.
more established, like Pulitzer Prize winning journalists. I don't think he ever, well, probably at some point, but like when people like view Clark Kent as a celebrity in his own right for being like one of the best reporters of the best
Mhm.
newspapers. I thought I thought it was kind of funny, like showing him at his Jimmy Olsen stage, and I did enjoy that.
Well, we never seen him at the Jimmy Olsen stage until for me, I never seen it.
No, yeah, no, not you don't really see that too often.
I
No, I,
think
I, I
it's
almost
for
wish they
rare
dwelled.
occasion.
I wish they dwelled on that a little bit more, like Clark Kent, kind of like figuring out how to be the best journalist, and like before they got into Superman. I almost would like to them elaborate that like time frame where he's like just an intern at the Daily Planet. I think
I,
that would be an interesting kind of gap to kind of fill.
hmm. I kind of wish, how like the glasses like usually changes like look to like a weirder,
Like a
more of
skinnier
a
version.
skinnier version of
Yeah.
him. I was still kind of waiting for them to start doing that more with
Yeah, I
this,
I agree. I think they should like
but
visually show that.
they haven't done it yet. And I
No,
would say this movie would have been the
this would have
best
been good. Yeah.
way of doing that, introducing that
Mhm.
look to him.
Yeah,
But
no, I agree.
they
I
didn't
mean,
choose it.
I definitely, that's in the comic books. They like make Clark Kent like he wears these like Kryptonian glasses or something, like these kind of almost like magic, not magic, but they
Hmm.
like this like technology where you put the
Cloaking.
glasses on, it makes them look skinnier, it makes them look kind of like more hunched over, you
It's
know.
a cloaking device. It makes them disguises
Yeah,
them.
it definitely disguises him a little bit. Like he still has an appearance like of like Clark Kent being looking like the same guy, but there's definitely
Hmm.
differences between Superman and Clark Kent if he wears the glasses. And I like I said, I like you said, I would like to see that visually on like a film or a television show or anything where to kind of implement that a little bit. Like at least like with one shot where it's like maybe a POV shot from Lois Lane's angle, like
Hmm.
walking through the newsroom, and you see like Clark Kent. He looks kind of like weird and gangly, and then like you cut to like a wide shot, and he just looks normal to us, you know. But then you cut to like maybe an over the shoulder shot of Lois Lane, and he looks
And he just looks
weird.
gross.
Yeah, like he changes, and like, well, like it depends on the shot, like what the director's kind of trying to portray
Okay.
during that. It's a little tricky to kind of dance around, but I think you could pull it
You
off.
can pull it off, but
Yeah.
like yeah, it's just like yeah, like what you're saying, it's gonna be like picking the right spot to do it.
Yeah, exactly. It depends on the shot and like what angle. Like if you're seeing it from like Lois's perspective, I think
Yeah.
that would definitely work. But yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoy this movie. I can't really rate it right now. If I was gonna rate it, I would give it an 8 out of 10 at this point. If I see him more, I might give it higher, lower. I don't know. Like I don't know. like at this point, if I had to rate it, I don't really feel comfortable rating it, but I'll give it an 8 at this point.
I'm gonna go with my final answer.
Oh,
It's gonna be an 8.
oh wow!
I usually
Wow,
don't.
Matt. I'm
Usually
surprised.
with the Superman stuff, I don't go back to half the time.
Mm-hmm.
Only when it's like on TV, I'll catch it again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like you. I don't re-up things like Superman. So like, to me like this actually was a good outcome, and then I probably will maybe watch it again.
Yeah, I would definitely.
But
yeah.
I would say to me right now it's a final 8.
All right. Yeah, that's fair. Well, it's the same rating I gave it. So like that's
No, but you say
fair
yours
rate.
can change if you
It
watch
it could change.
more.
I'll
Yours
have
is
to
an
watch
iffy
it.
8.
But
Yours
yeah,
is an
mine's
iffy
not a
8.
final.
Mine's a permanent 8.
That's fair. My goal at the end of this whole podcast is to make you not like a diehard Superman fan, but I would like to make you appreciate Superman a little bit more.
The thing is, I do appreciate him. It's just that the way they've been just doing him is not right.
No, you're right.
It's not right.
You're right. That's why I get so mad about the renditions of Superman. I think we should be expecting more as Superman fans.
You know what? They need to bring back Superman on the Nintendo 64.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. I would like to play that. I do have a 64. I played it back in the day.
Play it? Was it you and Robbie or Dan who was playing it?
No, I played it. No, yeah, Dan and I played a different. We played a different game. It was a PlayStation 1 or 2 game. It was the Superman animated. It was Superman the animated version.
Okay.
But it wasn't Superman 64. It was a better game. It was actually pretty good. It wasn't.
Superman 64 is literally you flying through rings.
Yeah.
So like that's
I would like to do a review of Superman 64 at some point. I wouldn't know how to really. I don't really know how to really do it yet.
I don't have a Nintendo 64 anymore, so it's gonna be off of memory.
I have a 64, so I would like to play it. I don't know. I would like to do
do that.
I would like to do like a video or something. I don't know.
You would probably find it anywhere.
Yeah,
any
it's probably pretty
cheap. Vintage.
What do you use like the Elgato to film, right? That's how you do it. That I would have to figure out how to use that. I don't really know.
It's super easy. You just have to connect the HDMI cable to your PlayStation or to your Nintendo 64, and you just have to have a certain mix up to it. It's weird. That's gonna be Nintendo 64 is gonna be a little bit of a more extra stuff, but usually it's a simple hookup.
I don't know. Maybe I'll wait. Maybe I'll bring my 64 to your house and we'll fuck with it. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe we'll do a video. I think that would be kind of fun if me and you do a video of Superman 64. I think that'll be a good idea. But anyway, moving forward, I think this is the closing of the podcast.
Okay.
I guess. Are you ready for the outro, Matt?
Dude, am I ever ready for the outro?
Probably not. I'm barely ready for this. I always forget.
In my head, I'm trying to think, what's my line again?
Superman's pal Matt bought yada yada yada. Becoming
Superman's pal Matt.
Yeah,
becoming super friends every single episode.
One episode at a time.
One episode at a time.
Okay, ready?
Yeah, as much as I can.
All right, 3, 2, 1. This is Josh sending you up, and away until next BatYard's finest episode.
And this is Superman's pal Matt becoming super friends, one episode at a time.
Yeah, we did it. All right, I'm gonna stop the recording. If you're watching at home, I love you, and if you weren't, watch it.